Good morning to my fellow lovely, amazing drivers in the lovely city of Glasgow. Today it's the 28th of November 2019 and it's just 03:11 hours. Yeah, and today's kind of Thursday. Yeah, Thursday the 28th of November 2019. I just thought, let me just do what I do best. Yeah, because I'm resilient, man. Yeah, I'll be in their face till they drop. Yeah, a lot of people are asking me why, if I don't like Uber, why am I still staying with Uber? Yo, I don't quit, man. I'm not a quitter. Yeah, that's my response. I'll stick around and do what I have to do. I want them to see me every day till they drop, till they're fed up of seeing me. Yeah, that's what people like us do. You'll see us over and over again till you're fed up of seeing us. But we're still gonna stay strong, man. Yeah, man. You chop off our arms, we will start walking with our head, man. You chop off our feet, we crawl. Yeah. You chop off the hands and the feet, we go on our abdomen. Yeah, man. You chop off the head, we still go on our shoulders. Trust me. That's the kind of spirit we get. Anyway, big up to all the lovely drivers in the city of Glasgow, man. Blessings. My love and respect to all of you, all right? Regardless. All right. Today I got to bring you three things. Three things. The purpose of the dynamic search in Uber. That's one thing I'm going to bring, yeah? And the purpose of the consecutive trips that Uber's bringing. And you see the booking app, the visuals of it when you look at the booking app. All right? So, those are the three things that we're going to talk about today, in short. Okay, the purpose of the dynamic search. Let's talk about that first. When we signed up with Uber, they said they had what is called the dynamic search pricing. We said, yeah, what's the dynamic search pricing? Because a lot of us, that's the first time we had of anything like that. Yeah? When supply cannot be met by the demand, or is the opposite. When demand outweighs the supply, then the price goes up. So it's the dynamic search pricing, they call it, based on supply and demand. Demand increases, price goes up. That's what Uber says. Because Uber have to tell us something. That this is the reason why I'm bringing the dynamic search pricing. Because you cannot just say what I'm going to say today. Because if you say what I'm going to say today, it's going to be deemed as reckless, fraudulent, and deceitful. Yeah, the purpose of Uber's dynamic searching, we've all seen it. All of us as drivers, we've seen the dynamic search pricing, but we think it's when the demand is high. Obviously, when the demand is high, the price should go up, and Uber does that now and again. When the demand is high, shoots up the price. But I'll tell you the sole reason of the dynamic search pricing today. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine today, and it came to my mind that I have to make a video of it. A dear friend of mine works with Uber as well. I'm not going to call the name, but we kind of talk a lot about these things as well, me and him, yeah. He's a kind of like a confidant, yeah. So I kind of come up with like, the dynamic search pricing is kind of like, it's sort of like a trap for drivers. It's a trap for drivers that Uber set. Because remember, the conventional private hires that were here before Uber would normally have a radio or a form of communication to the drivers. They'll have a way to communicate to the drivers if they want the drivers to do something or do them a favor. Either a radio or through a text or through their phones. They have a form of communication. Yeah? Uber have no form of communication with us. There's no radio system. All we have is a dashboard, and the dashboard is information that Uber wants to put for us to know. That's it, up and off. Yeah? So Uber have to communicate to the drivers to make, for instance, if they want the drivers to stay, if they think a lot of cars are kind of signing off, going offline and heading home, most of the time Uber will bring the surge up. And a lot of these drivers who think, who are greedy and are chasing the surge, yeah, would decide to make a U-turn and go back for the surge. And a lot of the times when you go back for the surge, you'll stand there for a very long time and you won't have a job. Yeah? How many of you have that happen to? How many of you have that happen to? Put your hands up. No, I'm not saying any. Put your hands up. Yeah, I'm seeing some hands up now. It has happened to you, and you, and you, and you. All right. Yeah, man. That was Uber putting a baiting you, putting a bait so that you come back to work. That's a form of communication. That's no increase in demand. Uber wants you to turn back, to come back. And all of a sudden, after a while, that search will disappear, and then Uber starts giving you a non-search jobs. That's what it wants. It's a form of communication. Yeah, Uber's communicating with you using the dynamic search pricing. I'm not saying if the demand is high, it doesn't go up. It does now and again, but most of the time, even when the demand is high, the search doesn't come up. It doesn't come up. And the dynamic search pricing is used, Uber used the dynamic search pricing as well to kind of like capitalize on what it has lost. If Uber should have kind of like had a forecast, for instance, and said, okay, today, Thursday, I'm anticipating to make this amount of money, and all of a sudden it did not make it. Yeah, at some point in time in the future, Uber will have to raise the surge in order to make up for what it has lost. Because there's nothing that can make you and I to kind of verify, to see the justification of that surge pricing. We can't go to every rider that's booking. We don't know who's booking. We don't know who. So Uber can just decide and say, oh, yeah, man, surge pricing somewhere in Paisley. We don't even operate in Paisley. Glasgow doesn't even operate in Paisley. Why is surge pricing happening in Paisley? Can't you see that? It's fixing. Why would surge pricing be in Clydebank? We don't have license to operate in Clydebank. Can't you see that? Sometimes it's even in Wishore. Yeah. Motherwell. Why is surge pricing in Motherwell? Yeah. You understand? So that's the bait. Uber's using this surge pricing as a bait to get to you as drivers, to keep you on the road. Because when some of you see it, regardless of the surge pricing not being within the area that you're operating, you still see that kind of, that storm brewing. You will still wait thinking it's going to drop. Yeah. So that Uber's using that. Know that, I'm telling you, is using it as a bait to make you stay longer on the road and make it money, make Uber money. Yeah. And slave for Uber as long as Uber wants. All right? And Uber can use it to hedge its risk of losing any revenue. If Uber loses, this surge pricing would make it catch up, make up for what it has lost. Remember that. That's the first point I'm making, yeah? The next point is the purpose of the consecutive trips. Recently, we've all been seeing that pick up 3 trips within a demarcated area, you're going to make this amount of money. The reason for that is easy. It's what Uber knows the drivers are getting out of control. And there's no form of communication. You can talk to them and tell them, hey, listen, why are you not picking up jobs? Because they're independent. But you have to find a way of controlling them, making sure they run, even when they don't want to run. Yeah, why do you think Uber would say do not go offline within the consecutive trips times? That you shouldn't go offline, and you shouldn't turn down job offers. You have to accept them regardless of the distance. Why do you think that is? Because they want to take away your rights of choosing jobs. They want to take away your rights of going offline and taking a break. That's what it is. Yeah, and Uber will be in control and plotting you everywhere it wants you to be. Can't you think for once Look at it this way. Before the consecutive trip starts, almost everybody's picking. Once the consecutive trip starts, look at the rider's app and you see every driver at a standstill. Because Uber's calculating the risk. How much money am I making? Yeah. How much money am I losing? Yeah, for giving drivers this consecutive trip bonus. Yeah. They have to work it out in a way that's profitable to Uber's business. Remember, the program is doing multiple calculations at once and they're split in the fraction of a second. Yeah. Calculating all the risk, thinking, okay, let's calculate this. Let's send this guy there. This guy is gone. Let's this guy there. How many times we've seen that everybody just stands still, as if like we kind of like we're on guard. We're on guard. You know why? Because Uber's trying to regain control of your minds, your bodies, and your souls, and the way you're working. Believe me, that's the purpose of it. And a lot of drivers are falling for it. Me personally, I don't fall for it. I'll tell you what I do. When the consecutive trip starts, yeah, I don't pick up any ride even if I pick up a job on the consecutive trips, then I'll go offline deliberately. I'll go offline and then come back online so that it will start fresh, as if I'm not part of it again. I do that. I'm not interested in it. I get the freedom to do what I want, to choose my jobs. I don't want anybody to control what I have to do. You see, if I know that it's half an hour before the consecutive trip time finishes, I'll take their job, because then the system will be thinking, okay, this guy is not ready to go with what we're playing. The system will look after me and give me jobs that are close. They dare not throw me far, because they will thinking if I throw him far, he's not going to take it. And that's going to create a complete mess. Because if you have one bad driver who's messing up what Uber's trying to do, the whole thing that they want to do falls apart. Yeah, man. The whole program of what they want to do falls apart. So they need everybody, yeah, to be in line, everybody to work with them for what they want to implement to work. If one person out of 300 drivers is not doing it, it won't work. It fails. And me, I choose my jobs. I'll do what I have to do. So that's the purpose of the consecutive trips, to get you in line, to control you, and take powers away from you. All right. The third one is the visuals of the booking app. If Uber I've got riders telling me that they can hardly see the cars on the booking app. Yeah, and a lot of us drivers can see that. And we can compare it from when we just started working with Uber, when all the cars were visible. Yeah, but now you can hardly see the cars. The riders are complaining. You know, the prices and the cars that Uber and the different rides that Uber are offering are coming off almost 2/3 of your screen. That you can barely see the cars now. Even if you zoom out, yeah, you have a little room to play with. Riders are complaining. So if Uber have nothing to hide, why are you trying to manipulate the rider's screen? What are you trying to hide? If you have transparency in the business, you want everything to be transparent, why are you trying to conceal that? Why are riders struggling to see the cars? Why are you working so hard to conceal things? Because we all know what Uber's doing is wrong. Uber knows what he's doing behind the scenes is wrong. If you're doing something wrong, you have to hide it. You have to conceal it. Because if people get to know about it, your business falls apart. So you walk in order to defend the wrongdoings that you're doing. It's kind of like building a fence all the time in order to kind of like, protect yourself from people seeing what you're doing behind the scenes. Yeah, that's what's happening. If they've got nothing to hide, why can't they leave things as they are? So what I'm going to say in short is this. Yeah? Again, I'm going to say it's your business. You manage the business the way you see fit. If you let Uber run your business for you by giving you jobs and you're just taking every job and running, which means they're managing your business for you, you have the right to manage your business, choose jobs, and decide what jobs to take or not. Sometimes with me, I'll tell you one thing. I'll turn down a surge job for a non-surge job. I've done that a lot of times. I've turned down a surge job, like a 1.8 for a non-surge job. Why? They've given me a 1.8 that's taking me to a place that I'm thinking it's hard to get. I'll struggle to get to that place to drop the rider. And by the time I'm back, I will lose a lot of time. So rather take a non-surge job that will take me in a surge area. You understand where I'm coming from? A non-surge job taking me in a surge area. For instance, something is happening at the hydro, the SECC, but hasn't finished yet. Yeah? But nothing is happening in the city center, right? But Uber decided to raise the surge in the city center. But I know in the next half an hour, the SECC event would have to finish. So Uber's giving you a surge in the city center that's going to take you probably to Baillieston. 1.8 to Baillieston. By the time I go to Baillieston and then come back, that would have been over, and probably I would get bigger surge out there. So I would rather take a non-surge at the east end of the city that will take me to the west end where I will have more money. Because by the time I get to the east end and pick up the rider and come to the west end, SECC would be over. That's how you should think as drivers. Not this surge every time. You have to play it like a chess game. Yeah, that's the trick. That's the tip I'm giving you as drivers. You don't go for surge every time. Work out the plan. Know why you're doing what you're doing. I do that a lot. Yeah. And when you do that, you're about to win because you know what's happening. Some drivers, they see surge, they lose all their conscience and moral rationality. They don't want to know where you're going. As soon as they see 1 point something or 2 point something, they don't want to know where you're going. They will take you. Yeah, they'll take you. They'll take you anywhere. Anywhere. They don't care. But sometimes you pick up that surge and then you go, you lose money. Yeah. When others are making, who've done the non-surge, will make money. So you have to know how to play this game that Uber's trying to play with you. Because remember, everything that Uber gives you is to benefit Uber, not to benefit you. But you have to make it benefit you when Uber gives you something. Because you can make it work for yourself, depending you know what to do. So this is my message to you as drivers. Look out for yourselves and manage your business to the best of your ways that you see fit. And I'm so pleased to bring this tip to you because a lot of you have been asking me questions about this surge. Do I know when it's going to come? I don't know when it's going to come. But I've told you the purpose of the dynamic surge pricing, and I've told you the purpose of the consecutive trips. Yeah? And why Uber's concealing a lot of things from us. Yeah? All right? Till I meet you again, my blessed people, this is the Rizki-Produkt. Stay blessed. Yeah? My lovely, blessed drivers of Glasgow. Peace.